Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Convo presented by Leadership Indianapolis. I am Ebony Chappelle, Manager of Programs and Communications, and today I am talking with JoEllen Rossebo of Arts for Learning Indiana. Hi, JoEllen, how are you?
Hi, Ebony. I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, for people that are unaware, Arts for Learning, you are one of over 100 organizations that are represented in our 2020 nonprofit guide, presented in part by the Indianapolis Recorder newspaper, Selflessly, Lilly Endowment, and Newfields. But for people that don't know about you, what is Arts for Learning Indiana?
Well, we've been around a really long time. Next year we'll be celebrating our 60th anniversary as a not-for-profit, and in a nutshell, we bring professional teaching artists to children wherever they are, in school, out of school programs, everywhere from early childhood programs at Head Start and Day Early Learning to some work with youth in the Marion County Jail. So we have a vast spectrum of work that we do. And over the years, we've evolved to bring just about every art form to children.
Yeah, which is so important. There's so many studies out there that show how impactful the learning environment is to students when they have the arts incorporated. So, really incredible work that you're doing. You mentioned bringing performing artists to schools, and right now we are in a really interesting time. Some kids aren't even in school, and the ones that are, their ability to interact and do things is severely limited due to coronavirus risk. So, how have you all pivoted in this time to still be able to provide some sort of resource?
Well, when we were first faced with the pandemic, we the schools were just trying to figure everything out, and with shelter in place, we quickly put together some programs that were just little snippets of our work, like 5-minute programs, and we called them Five on Friday. And we gave anybody who wanted to go online free access to those, and those are still available on our website. They're like mini lessons or workshops with our teaching artists. But we also knew that there would be a lot of children that didn't have access to the internet or would have connectivity problems. And we wanted to make sure that we addressed that and we were able to serve those children as well. So we began to assemble teaching artist packets, lessons that could easily be taken home with all the materials contained in them, whatever the children would need to do the project. And we distributed those through the Parks Department food program and did thousands of those over the summer. And now as school has started and we're working again with schools, we're looking at programming that's either recorded or that we can live stream. We've done a lot of, we're asking schools what it is exactly that they need and if they can even project into the future, if they prefer live streaming or do they want us to, continue to work with them live. In some cases, we've been able to do that at a distance, but it really just depends on what the school needs and where they are.
Having to adjust in that way, I know is a big shock to everybody. What are the things that really inform how you move as a leader when it comes to inspiring your team, when it comes to visualizing things for the future? What are the lessons that inform how you move presently?
Mhm. Some of them are they're the same lessons I think that we need to keep a 60-year-old organization fresh and moving ahead and relevant. We certainly can't just do the things we did 60 years ago and put 300 kids in a gymnasium to hear a performance, even though I think that has great value. I think we've evolved and need different things. So a big part of it is listening to what schools and teachers and principals want, really listening to our artists, our teaching artists, and find out what they're capable of doing, how they want to move forward and reach children. So I think it's really about just a democratic process of doing a lot of listening and finding out what will work, and to be very open-minded about trying something we've never done before.
Mhm.
I think that's the biggest part of it.
Yeah. You know, something else that I've noticed recently when it comes to people that work with children and with students is a bigger emphasis on issues around inclusion and equity and social justice. In addition to the pandemic, we've experienced a large social uprising. Some people are calling this the new civil rights movement right here in our own backyard, as well as across the country. How has Arts for Learning incorporated any of that type of conversation into what it is you're offering students now?
Right. Well, besides the work we are doing as a staff and board um, on our evolution in that area, we have worked with particularly our artists of color. We've formed a Black focus group of artists to get their ideas on how to move forward. And we are looking at ways to build anti-racism programming into our offerings. And, I think that the arts are a perfect medium for that because they do build cultural understanding. And we have always tried to bring programs that represent the children we serve. And we need to continue that, do more of that. But it's part of the whole idea of really listening to what the community needs and wants.
Yeah, yeah, which is really important. And that's a conversation I've been having a lot with people is the importance of listening and then responding in a way that is very intentional to those needs that are presented. Speaking of needs, you all, I mentioned earlier, are one of the organizations represented in our 2020, excuse me, Get On Board nonprofit guide. What are you looking for in terms of new board membership for Arts for Learning Indiana?
Well, we're always looking for board members that can really get excited about the work we do. You don't have to have an arts background or be an artist. We always welcome people in the business community, but artists would be great as well. We are looking for board members that can really get excited about our mission and be ambassadors for us out in the community. We're looking for board members who really want to get engaged. We are right now working on, we're not really doing strategic planning, but some strategic mapping, and we need all the really good ideas that we can get. So we really think engagement is the most important part of that.
Wonderful. Well, best of luck to you all in the work that you're doing in the community and on finding those new board members. It's always very exciting. And thank you for being a part of the Convo.
Oh, thank you, Ebony.
Absolutely. And thank you all for tuning in to the Convo. Be sure to keep up with us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn by searching Leadership Indianapolis. Have a great day and a positive week.